When I coach people who are trying to raise money, there's this concept that I teach on, which is the concept of the floor and ceiling. If you are going to raise money for your business and you want to take equity, you need to have two valuations in your head. The first one is the floor. The floor is the minimum valuation you will accept. And every business has a floor. And the ceiling is your best expectation for the highest valuation you can get away with, right? So, how do you get your floor? There are two ways you can sell a business. You can sell a business in terms of net assets, or you can sell a business in terms of, or you can sell a business as a going concern. So let me explain something. When you sell a business as assets, what you are saying is, what's the value of your equipment? What's the value of your vehicles? What's the value of your furniture? How much money do you have in the bank? You value all these things and you have a value. That is the asset value of the business. Then you subtract how much money do you owe? What liabilities do you have? If you subtract what the business owns from what the business owes, you get the value of the company, which is the floor value. But you know that in a business, there's an important asset that you cannot put a price on, which is the value of your human resources, the employees that work for you, the value of the goodwill you have with your customers, the loyalty and the relationships you have with your customers, the strategic relationships you have with partners, distributors, and your banks. You can't put a value on that. And anybody who is buying your business is buying all these relationships, is buying all this goodwill. How do you put a value on the goodwill? That is why the ceiling valuation is necessary. So if you're talking to an investor is telling you, why are you valuing your company at 200 million? But when I add up the value of all your assets, your air conditioners, your cars, your equipment, everything, the value is less than 50 million. How did you get to 200? When you start to talk about, we have strategic relationships with our suppliers. We have very loyal customers. And we are also selling our customer list as part of this deal. By the time you mention all these things, all of a sudden you are sounding very credible, because these are things that you cannot put a money value on, but they are very valuable. So those are the conversations that you should have in your head. A floor ceiling is your lowest possible valuation. A ceiling valuation is the highest possible valuation that you can have. So what it means is that the final deal should fall between your floor and your ceiling. If the investor is giving you any value that is close to your floor or below your floor, that is the sign of a bad deal. You have to walk away. Which is why I always tell people, don't wait until you are desperate before you start raising money. Investors love desperate entrepreneurs because it's easy to win them in a negotiation. Your ability to negotiate is weakened because you desperately need the money.